Hi everyone, Annalisa here again, and we are finished week 4, or tomorrow we finish week 4 on team membership and teamwork. And when I say finished, I mean, the last week before we start on Friday, mentoring and coaching. So, what have we covered this week? Well, we've covered team membership, team building, focus. I am looking at my notes, it's okay, just to make sure I get this right for you. So the types and characteristics of teams, the dynamics in teams, the people issues in team, how we deal with them, the output, effectiveness, etc. Okay. In terms of what you should have learned, we've had the concept of teams, membership and work, teams, awareness and the process of roles within group development, reflection on how teams become cohesive, and the personal reflection of your personal and professional development through teamwork, okay, and team membership, and the way that we promote teamwork. Now, within all of that is framed team leadership. Okay, so, and this was also a key component of what we've been learning. Now, just before I go on to my highlights of the discussion, the poll, in the beginning we had some majority of you were clear. There were one or two still either confused, or one or two issues that sort of seemed to bother you. And the second poll, we had one person who was, at least who participated and said they weren't fully clear, and the remainder were. Now, hopefully the video links, the TED Talks I sent through yesterday, will have been helpful in the sense of providing you a little bit further information about some of the key underlying issues that I sensed were coming through. Issues about trust, issues about communication, being authentic to yourself. Okay, so this is taking me now into the online classroom. I'm going to start with a quote that I found in my rune book, and I'm sure you've heard it elsewhere. In order to lead, you must know how to serve. In order to lead, you must know how to serve. So this is the learning. Who you are as a team member, how you function in groups, is teaching you and preparing you for leadership, even the leaders you have within that scenario. And those leaders have a responsibility. Our team leaders, management, all have a responsibility. And you've noted this through your communications on the online classroom. I probably haven't been as responsive in terms of actually responding to so many individual posts this week, but I have read through them all, and I'm going to pick up some of the key issues that I think you've covered. And basically, as far as I'm concerned, you've covered everything that I've asked you to do, or we've asked you kindly to participate in. So you covered the idea of comparative work groups, functional ones and those that were not so functional. And in fact, one of our colleagues talked about what I considered a toxic leader. And we do have toxic leaders, toxic managers. How do you manage them? And this is related to people issues. Okay. And in that post, the team, including a colleague who posted it, seemed to deal with it very effectively. Sometimes in teams where a leader is toxic or it wants control, it's not so easy. However, nothing is impossible. And I think at the end of the day, it's about learning about how you manage yourself and how you manage the leader. I sent through a talk, I think, last week about how to be the stronger self, not to give away your power. This week, one of the talks that we had was about trust. Now, I see this as an underlying theme in working with teams. The team leader, the team members need to trust the team leader, and the leader needs to earn the trust. And this came through beautifully in your posts. And the team leader needs to trust their team members. And this again came through beautifully in many of your posts. Where there was a team leader who didn't trust the team members and wanted to control, things didn't work out as well as they could have. Where the team leader gave the participants, the members, an opportunity to be free. It's not freer. It's not just a freer. Trusted their ability to get on with it. And I think a couple of you put it in terms of authoritative team leaders and democratic team leaders. Okay, so you can tell I've been reading your posts, because I will reiterate throughout this some terminologies that you used yourselves. Okay, and of course, as I said, the controlling team leaders. Now, it was interesting. There was one post, and probably more than one of you who commented on it, was the difference between the academic and industry work groups, and there is a difference. And I think there is a difference because in many ways, even though there are still outcomes and outputs, I think with industry, the whole profit, a whole aspect against making sure that they make financial profit out of what they are working towards is very important. But then again, as some of you, one of you I noted also said that, for you it was not so important whether the targets were being met, but rather the satisfaction, that intrinsic sense of, I'm happy with my work, I feel I'm achieving something, I feel I'm learning something, and that's fine, because then you're sharing with others. So in a sense, your team leader is setting the culture, the team culture, and if the team culture is a positive one, then the teams will function very positively. And I noted that one of you also said that you were in a team with someone who never really contributed or did what they were asked to do. But that's the responsibility of the team leader to address. And I think that from gathering from some of your others of you who've posted, that those sorts of things were addressed by group rules, group accountability of each individual team members to the group. And within that, some found it frustrating where they had to rely on another team member's productiveness and their ability to really follow through with what they were asked to do in order for them to be able to achieve their productivity goals and their goals of making the whole thing successful. So as far as I'm concerned, you've really covered everything really, really well. And let me say, where there is a team member who is not contributing and they're not being coached or mentored through to be able to contribute, it's like there's no leadership. And that's when everyone's kind of floundering. Okay, I'm just looking at my notes to make sure I've going through. Conflict is an issue that can happen in a team, and that's where I guess the leader needs to be someone, that's where trust comes in, someone who you can go to, you can discuss it without any yucky kind of he said, she said or anything, but to really address the core issues. And that's where what I see some of you alluded to, the emotional intelligence, the leadership, the people issues. And in dealing with people issues, let's go back to week 3 where you looked at interpersonal skills, and week 2 where you looked at communication skills, and week 1 where we looked at what makes an effective leader. So as I hope you can see, they're all tying in together. and they all interrelate and interact. And for teams to work functionally and to work effectively and to produce the best they possibly can, not just in outputs and outcomes, financial benchmarks, but in terms of you and your team members and you as a leader growing and learning and becoming the best you possibly can become at every point in time. Now, I think that at this point I'm looking at the time and I need to tie this up. Next week we're going to look at mentor and coaching. So we're going to look at the difference of what is a mentor, what is a coach, what makes a good mentor, makes a good coach, what you should be aware of yourself when you're looking for a mentor or you're being coached, the benefits of it and the relationship that you grow within it. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye now, and if I feel I've missed anything, I'm going to write it up on the announce with obviously the video, and make some further notes. And if I think there's any other TED Talk out there that can be inspiring for you, I'll post it to you. And thank you very much for your amazing contributions and your patience and everything else. Thank you very much. Enjoy your week. Stay safe, stay well, and bless. Thank you.